What's up, guys? This is Matt from Force Fitness and Performance. Today I want to talk about 3 keys to maximize your training using a heart rate monitor. Our first step is going to be tracking our total, the total stress put on your body at any given time, what your ready state is. So we like to think of this in a really simple model we got from Joel Jamieson. It is green light, yellow light, red light. Green light means we're good to go. You can train normally, train at 100%. It's a day you can really push yourself. A yellow light means that your body is already under a moderate amount of stress. That can be stress from anything. It can be stress from your job, from your relationship, from training, from not sleeping enough, from having too much other stress in your life. So it's more of a total bird's eye picture of stress. If you have a moderate level of stress, we want to actually back your training down that day because we want to meet you where you're at. Your body can only adapt to so much. If we give you the perfect dose, the perfect dosage, you're going to be good to go. This is just like with medicine. Too little doesn't really do anything. Too much, bad things happen. We want to be right in the middle, okay? And then on a red light day, that's a day where your body's kind of beaten up a little bit or your stress is kind of off the charts a little bit. So, off the charts a little bit, right? Off the charts. We're gonna work on doing a recovery day that day so you can walk or stretch, do something that's gentle and restorative for your body. Still move. It's not a reason to just sit on the couch, do some movement, but that's kind of a guideline. And how we can track whether we're in a green light, a yellow light, or a red light day is by using a heart rate strap and an app on your phone and just check in your resting heart rate or your HRV. So all we're gonna do for that is first thing in the morning, you would get up, put on the strap, lay down, and you're just gonna breathe in and out through the nose, nice and deep. Trying to relax. And most apps will take 2 to 3 minutes. At the end of that time, check your resting heart rate. Mine is usually 50 to 55 in the morning, okay? A little bit higher when I'm standing up. You can see down there, it's actually in the 80s and 90s. So normally resting, I'm gonna be 50 to 55. If I see a jump in that baseline number of 5% or more, I'm gonna be thinking, okay, this might be a moderate stress day for me. This might be a yellow light day. If I see a jump of more than 10% in my resting heart rate going up between one day to the next day, I'm assuming that's a red light day and I need to back off my training that day. Remember, it's not about going harder, it's about going smarter, okay? So that's our first step. Track it with a resting heart rate, or if you use an app called Heart Rate Variability, it will often give you one of those numbers and a color of how to track your heart rate and how to adjust your intensity, okay? The second way we're gonna use the heart rate monitor is to make sure you're recovering enough between your high intensity intervals, okay? Most people think of high intensity interval training and it's like Shaun T from Insanity. It's like, everyone does 30 seconds on and 3 minutes off. Well, we inverted it. Now it's 3 minutes on and 30 seconds off. And what you realize with high intensity interval training is it's about getting your heart rate up and coming back down. It's not about staying high for long periods of time. It's a quick burst and recover. So you can see on the screen right now, my heart rate percentage is about 46%. That means out of my max heart rate, I'm at 46%. When I do a sprint interval or high intensity interval, I'm trying to get up into the 80s and 90 percentages for a brief period of time, and then I want to recover all the way back below 70%. So that's kind of your baseline. Get below 70% before you go again. So you can use that in your strength training sessions, you can use it in your high intensity interval training. It's going to make it instantly more effective because you're giving yourself the rest you need in order to stay at the same intensity as moving forward, okay? So I guess I can see if I can jack my heart rate up really quick. Doing some burpees or maybe just some fake double unders, okay? Are we going up? Hopefully this will get edited out. Jumping around. I'm tired, I'm only at 60. But you can see how we would use that. Spike it up, come back down below 70. Make sure you're doing that more often than not. And then our third tip for making the most out of your heart rate training is make sure you're in the right zone, okay? And most people get stuck in no man's land. They get stuck in this moderate zone where their heart rate's kind of like too high to really be training their low and slow system, and it's too low to really be going all out. We want to be on either side of the end of the spectrum. That's going to give you the most balance and bang for your buck. So when you're going hard, we want to make sure you're above 90%. You're going hard for a brief period of time. And when you're going low and slow, you want to keep your heart rate between like 130 and 150 for long durations, which is going to be for most people in that 70 percentile, okay? In the 70s, somewhere from between 70 and 79. So 70 and 79, this is your low and slow. You can do a lot of work here. 90 and up, for you guys would be this way, right? 90 to 100, that's going to be your sprints and stuff that's really quick, short duration, but hard to do. And then we're going to try to stay out of the 80s unless you're doing a very specific type of training, which if you come to Force, we will teach you, okay? Hopefully that helps, guys. Your three tips for making the most out of a heart rate monitor for your training. Track your resting heart rate or your HRV in the morning and adjust the intensity of your workouts to match. Make sure you're recovering below 70% in between efforts of your high intensity intervals or your strength training. Resist the urge to try to just keep going and keep pushing through. Give yourself the time to recover. And then third, make sure you're training in the right zone. Train high, train low, don't get stuck in no man's land. That's gonna make your training a ton better already. Have fun.